The Roman army knew only one thing that day. If they lost here, Britain would slip from Rome's hands forever. Standing before them was Queen Boudicca's army, burning with anger, intoxicated by victory, and completely confident in its recent successes. Roman cities had been burned, civilians had been slaughtered, and the barbarian warriors believed that Rome's fear was finally broken. But is anger and sheer numbers ever enough to win a war? Or does victory demand something more? Suetonius Paulinus, the Roman commander, stood silently, studying the battlefield. He did not have many soldiers, but he possessed the advantage of time, terrain, and understanding. He abandoned the open field and chose a narrow pass, with a tight opening ahead and dense forest behind. Was this mere luck, or the result of Rome's ancient military thinking? And most importantly, did the barbarian army realize they were walking into a trap? As the barbarian forces advanced, their numbers became not an advantage, but a burden. Thousands tried to move forward at once, but space was limited. The Roman soldiers locked their shields together, forming a tight wall, like a living fortress. There was no panic on their faces, only training. Could discipline truly defeat rage? Could training break a crowd? Then suddenly, something flashed through the air. Roman soldiers hurled their pila, heavy throwing spears, all at once. This was not merely a spear attack. It was psychological warfare. The spears lodged into shields, weighing them down and rendering them useless. Barbarian warriors were forced to drop their own protection. Was this only physical damage, or had the battle's fate already shifted? As the distance closed, the Roman short swords began their real work. Romans did not swing wildly. They struck with short, precise thrusts into the stomach, ribs, and throat. Every soldier knew that a single second's hesitation could mean death. The barbarian warriors shouted and roared, but their formation had collapsed. Can noise win a battle when silent killers stand before you? Another fatal mistake by the barbarian army now revealed itself. They had placed their families and wagons directly behind the battlefield so they could witness the victory. But when panic spread, there was nowhere left to flee. The celebration of their own triumph became a noose around their necks. Who could have imagined that bringing one's family would become the cause of death? When the Romans saw the enemy's confusion, they did not break formation. They tightened it. Slowly, relentlessly, they advanced like a steel machine that did not know how to stop. Barbarian warriors fell, tripped over one another, and were crushed by those pushing from behind. Was this still a battle or a carefully planned slaughter? Roman cavalry now struck from the sides. This was the moment when resistance nearly vanished. The barbarian warriors had no space, no breath, no time to think. Roman blades, Roman discipline, and Roman patience surrounded them. Could such a massive army ever truly win once every move became predictable? According to historians, the battlefield filled with corpses within hours. The ground grew slick, screams filled the air, and even those who fled into the forest could not escape. The Romans pursued without pause, without mercy. This was the point where the idea of battle itself ceased to exist. But the question remains, was this merely a battle, or Rome's message to the world? Queen Boudicca, who only hours earlier believed Rome was finished, now understood that the game was over. Whether she took poison or died from illness and grief remains unclear. But one thing was certain: Rome had returned, and more ruthless than before. Does the fall of a single leader end an entire movement? By evening, Roman casualties numbered only a few hundred, while barbarian dead reached into the tens of thousands. The figures were so shocking that even the Romans were stunned. Yet the true victory was won not on the battlefield, but in the mind. Rome proved that discipline, planning, and patience can defeat numbers every time. But does this formula always work? And would Rome continue to win wars by the same logic? After this battle, Britain was never the same for Rome. Cities were rebuilt, resistance was crushed, and Roman rule grew even stronger. But if the Roman commander had made even a single wrong decision that day, would Rome have survived in Britain at all? And would we still remember Rome as an invincible empire? And from here, another question emerges. If Rome could risk everything on a single battle, then what were the mistakes that later consumed the empire from within? Was Rome truly unstoppable forever, or did time simply stand on its side that day?